AVRant and SVS have teamed up to bring you an unbelievable opportunity. Have you been dreaming of dual subwoofers? Perhaps you'd like to upgrade your entire 5.1 speaker package. Don't have the cash? AVRant and SVS have your back. Go to www.avrant.com right now for your chance to win your choice of dual PB1000 subwoofers or a prime 5.1 satellite speaker package. Contest ends September 30th. Don't wait. Open to the residents of the United States and Canada. We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Mahi. Mahi is building a 14.6 foot wide, 20 foot long, and 6.5 foot high dedicated home theater.
7.5.
Did I say 6? 7.5.
You said 6.
Whatever. Sorry. And it's not a hobbit hole. 7.5 foot high dedicated home theater in his basement. He's decided to use the Soundproofing company's Solution 2 for his walls and ceiling, which includes sound clips with hat channels to decouple the drywalls from the ceiling joists and wall studs, fiberglass bat in the installation, and 2 layers of drywall with green glue in between. You also have their dead vent soffit muffler system for HVAC, which is his AC, and he will be putting putty around in the electrical outlets with in the other small openings. He will have can lights and in-ceiling speakers, so those will have Soundproofing Company's backer boxes behind them. Finally, we'll have a solid core door with Soundproofing Company's automatic door bottom ceiling system. In terms of soundproofing, has he forgotten about anything?
Largely, no.
I don't really.
I just have a few reminders that he's probably obviously he has read Soundproofing Company's articles and suggestions, solutions, and everything, which is fantastic. Anyone looking to soundproof your theater, build a dedicated theater where other people outside the theater can't hear what's going on inside the theater, and you inside the theater can't hear sounds coming from outside to bother you while you're watching your movie. Soundproofingcompany.com. You go over there. They have terrific resources. He's clearly done that. So I will just say a few points that are just reminders in case you haven't somehow you overlooked them, which I really doubt. But if you have any walls that are double studs or staggered studs, then those are already decoupled, and you do not need to go to the expense of using the sound clips and hat channels on those particular walls. You only need to decouple once, so you don't need to decouple twice. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe everything is a single stud, in which case, by all means, use the clips and hat channels. Then, in general, the idea of soundproofing is to make the room airtight, so make liberal use of your acoustic sealant. You don't necessarily have to buy that from soundproofingcompany.com. They have that stuff at Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. So you make liberal use of that, particularly the perimeters of all your walls. And if you really want to go for it, you can put it in between the seams of every piece of drywall. So wherever 2 pieces of drywall meet, you can put acoustic sealant in that seam to really seal up this room airtight. Now, just on the construction side, if any of your walls are exterior walls, and there probably at least 1 or 2 of them are, you have to have a vapor barrier by code, and vapor barrier is a pain to work with, so consider having spray foam installed, because spray foam counts as a vapor barrier. And if whatever you're going to do, wherever your corners are, build California corners, because that way you can fit insulation right into the corner space. You're not going to have any hollow or a place that's just like a stack of studs, which isn't exactly the best for soundproofing. And then lastly, the thing we always say, run conduit for all of your speaker wire, cables. Make sure you run conduit, because the last thing you want to have to do is drill through 2 layers of drywall with green glue to replace a cable because you forgot one or you need to change it out or whatever. So make sure everything that you run AV-wise is in conduit. But I think that's it.
All right. If a can light and an in-ceiling speaker are going to be close together, is it okay to use a single backer box for both of them? Will there be any disadvantages? Well, the first thing that came to my mind is I have never seen a backer box for a speaker that could fit anything other than just the speaker in it.
But he's building his own.
That's true, but internal volume of backer boxes is usually pretty well specified. And you want that because that speaker design is such that it works best with this much internal air volume behind it. So if you put more than that, I would be concerned about it. The second thing I would be concerned about is heat that comes off the lamp. I don't know that that would affect the speaker in any way, but it certainly can help the speaker in any way. Okay, it
true.
may not hurt it, but it certainly isn't going to help it. So I would be very concerned about heat coming off the lights.
Yeah, I mean, fire safety wise, Soundproofing Company, they only recommend using retrofit style can lights anyway. So if you're going with their plans, that's what you're going to use. So fire safety wise, you're probably okay. But yeah, there will be heat coming off of those, and I'm more worried about that internal volume of air because that's a trapped volume of air that's inside of that box. So
yeah,
both of us are leaning towards we don't really think this is the best idea.
Honestly,
it would be preferable to build two separate.
Let's
boxes.
just pretend for a second that whatever these ceiling speakers are really pumping, and it's unlikely to be the case. But the light themselves with the backer box, the light is going to have. You're basically creating a port. I mean, they're going to have an opening there. And the idea of the backer box is that there is no port, that it is sealed back there. So having a port in there changes the entire dynamics of the speaker, number one. Number two, that light was not meant to have air rushing past it over and over again. Every time the speaker goes in and out, you could very well get some sort of noise off of that. So I would be worried about that as well. I hadn't thought about that until just now. But yes, I think that this is generally not a good idea. You want whatever you're going to have for your lights, whatever you're going to have for speakers, even if they're close together. I don't think you can kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. In addition to soundproofing, Mahi is also interested in acoustical treatment. Is there anything you should consider about the actual construction when it comes to acoustical treatment, or can you just focus on building a soundproof room and then simply hang acoustical panels and bass traps afterwards? The second one is what I would say would be the easiest
I mean, you certainly
thing.
can.
I mean, you could have built-in stuff, but I think that it's going to be more money and problems than it's worth. And like, I would do it if there was something that was like, based on the shape of this room, the size of this room, and everything else, there's definitely going to be a resonant frequency at this, and this, right? And then you could build in like the type of panel that resonates and absorbs those resonance. But you are taking a huge risk that when you put all the furniture in there and the acoustic treatments that you're going to do for other things, those types of panels aren't going to just create noise. At the same time, how much easier it is to change the acoustical environment when you could just take a panel off the wall versus saying, well, all that stuff's built in, so we're kind of stuck here with what we got. I would definitely just build the room soundproof, then add the acoustical panels afterwards.
Yeah, when you're talking about people building like maximum soundproof rooms, they don't even put the electrical inside the wall. They run it as exterior electrical, in like the industrial style conduit that goes on the outsides of walls. Yeah. Right? So when you're talking mega soundproofing, they're like, build the soundproof box, then everything else you want to do in that room is inside of those walls. Now, you don't have to go to that extent. That's going nuts. But I mean, you can definitely do your acoustic treatments afterwards.
You could if you really wanted to. I mean, you could build like little soft, fake columns or whatever, and then string speaker grill fabric between them, and everything can be behind them. That's how those professional looking theaters, that's what they do. All the speakers are behind the acoustic panel, all the treatments are behind the panels, everything's behind the panels. Some of those
it's false walls.
It's all basically false walls
for acoustic treatment.
Yeah. So want your question answered, send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.